KUAM TV8, first on Guam.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Today, welcome to KUAM News Weekend Edition. I'm Nick Delgado. So glad you could join us. 37-year-old Vincent Aaron Leon Guerrero was arrested after allegedly beating and choking a woman. According to a magistrate's complaint on August 29th, police responded to a disturbance at a Dededo home. The victim alleged that Leon Guerrero allegedly threw a bucket and a coffee cup at her. After the victim fled inside a room, Leon Guerrero allegedly forced his way in, climbed on top of the victim, and choked her with both hands. Another person at the home came into the room to try to pull Leon Guerrero off the victim. He was charged with 2 counts of family violence as misdemeanors for assaulting both victims, as well as family violence for the first victim. The Guam Police Department and the Guam Crime Stoppers is hoping the community can assist in the capture of the person or persons responsible for a burglary at a school in PD.
Howdy, I'm Sergeant Poltapal, your Guam Crime Stoppers coordinator, and this is your crime of the week. On Monday, July 25th, our officers assigned to GPD Southern Precinct Command entertained a burglary complaint that occurred at Jose Rios Middle School located in PD. Now, the preliminary report suggests that school officials arrived for work on Monday, July 25th, and know that the school's counselor's office had been broken into. A further assessment was made where it was also discovered that the school's library was also broken into. Officials noted that the counselor's office and the library appeared to be rummaged through by unknown individuals. And the Guam Crime Stoppers is seeking the assistance from the community relative to this case investigation. Should anyone who may have any information that can aid our investigators, you're kindly asked to submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All tip information will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
COVID took a toll on all of us, but a new study is showing just how much of a toll it took on our students.
COVID took a toll on all of us, but a new study is showing just how much of a toll it took on our students.
What we found was really large declines in performance among 9-year-olds in reading and in mathematics.
Daniel McGrath is with the National Center for Education Statistics. They conducted the test.
These were the first ever decline that we have registered in mathematics and the first decline in reading since the early 1980s.
The tests are done every 4 years, but they conducted this latest round of testing across the nation 2 years early to better compare the effects of the pandemic. They found math scores dropped 7 points, while reading scores are down by 5 points.
It's quite alarming. It was not particularly surprising because what we're measuring is really from right before the pandemic hit until, 2 years into the pandemic.
The information will be used to help students catch up to where they should be. California State Superintendent Tony Thurmond says it's not just students that were hurt by the pandemic.
I would say that this pandemic is the toughest thing that most of us will go through in our lifetime. There have been major disruptions to school, to work, loss of loved ones.
September being Suicide Prevention Month, one group has a goal of advocating for the importance of raising awareness on mental health and suicide prevention. They hope to reach those struggling with the same issues they did and more. Daniel Perez has the details on Tuma.
With September being Suicide Prevention Month, Talk Up Mental Health Awareness is a local group with an aim to shift the negative narrative surrounding mental health and focus on how hope exists and recovery is attainable. Desiree Moreland is the founder and president of Tuma, and she shared why the group was formed.
Tuma is actually a nickname for my brother who I lost to suicide back in 2017, and it coincidentally became the perfect acronym for Talk Up Mental Health Awareness. So the beauty in the tragedy is Tuma exists to merely bring awareness on mental health as well as efforts in the community for suicide prevention. So basically we just bring awareness through our social media. We do what I like to call talk it ups in the community, is basically have conversations surrounded on the topic of mental health, right? It's such a umbrella of conversation.
The other members of TUMA have also come across their fair share of mental health issues in their life, and it's for that reason they want to help others out who may experience the same things. TUMA's Director of Administration, Nicole Erickson.
I actually battle with anxiety, and when Desiree approached me and had asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and she kind of broke down what TUMA is and our mission, I, without hesitation, agreed. I just think that there should be more unashamed conversations surrounding mental health, and I think that mental health is deserving of the same wellness you give to your physical life as well as your social life.
And for as long as she can remember, Kira Crew shared that she battles with depression.
I didn't know what it was. I thought I was just sad. Or my parents said to me like I was difficult, I was always angry. And then in high school, I attempted suicide. Yeah, I attempted to take my life. And then after I had my daughter, I went through a very, very bad depressive episode. And through one of my best friends from high school, she actually told her story because she was going through the same thing, and she talked about getting help, where she went to get help, what she was going through. And during that time period, people really framed me as I'm crazy, and she was the one that told me that I wasn't, you know? And so through her telling her story, I was able to seek help and realize that I'm not crazy. What I'm going through is not normal, and that I needed help.
Another active TUMA member is Katrina Untalan, who says that she's glad to be a part of something that challenges and wants to change the stigma around mental health.
I'm very grateful now, as I've gotten older, that I've done more research, I've been more educated, I understand more of why I am the way I am. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm not embarrassed anymore about it. I want to be able to talk about it with the community so that people can understand that whoever is also going through the same thing I am, they can also, try to seek resources and get help and better themselves.
For those going through a mental health crisis or just want someone to talk to, you can go to the TUMA website at tumaguam.com or follow their Instagram at tumaguam for more info. Daniel Perez reporting for KUAM News.
Expect increased noise and activity at Anderson Air Force Base from September 8th to the 16th during its operational readiness exercise. The training will include sound effects, messages from loudspeakers, sirens, smoke, and noise from alert vehicles. According to a news release, measures have been taken to minimize disruptions within the local community and on base, but there may still be increased traffic and delays in and around Anderson and those with base access. It is officially hunting season on the island of Rota. The Department of Lands and Natural Resources Resident Director David Calvo saying in a public notice that the open season for sandbar deer, which is limited to one male, is from September 1st to November 30th. Open season for coconut crab hunting is September 15th to November 15th, limited to 10 total and 5 per bag. Licenses for both types of hunting are $10 each. You also must have a valid firearms ID if you're hunting sandbar deer and be at least 16 years old if you're catching coconut crab. Legal hunting hours are 30 minutes before sunrise and 30 minutes after sunset. Got questions? Call 670-532-1345. Well, coming up after the break, the newest inductee to the KUAM Culture Club, and still to come, sports with Dave Delgado. You're watching KUAM.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam on Demand.
Half a day. I'm Kelina from Doc's Kitty College.
And I'm Kristen from Doc's Daycare and Preschool.
And we are so honored to be caring for the children of Guam. The Governor's Child Care programs help businesses like ours to really focus on the kids. These programs also help nonprofits and after-school programs and grandparents and so many families.
Visit www.guamchildcare.com to learn more about the Governor's Child Care programs. This ad is paid for with funds administered by DPHSS.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds at the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
JA Guam is inviting high school students to this year's JA Company program. You can register at ja-guam.org and learn about the different industries to consider for your future careers. Please join us on September the 10th at the GCC Multipurpose Room to kick off the JA Company program. Again, that's ja-guam.org. Register today. Sponsored by Bank of Hawaii, IP&E, Triple J Enterprises, SBDC, Title Guarantee, Graphic Center, Matson, GPO, Deloitte, GTA, Tan Holdings Guam, Outback, Guam Green Growth, Community First, and KUAM.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Welcome back. For this week's Culture Club, we introduce you to the newest inductee, mixed Chamorro artist Rody Aguero Ablao.
Culture Club is brought to you by Tropicool Ice, the purest, cleanest ice in Guam.
My name is Rowdy. I grew up in Zotnya, but I currently live in Duwamish Territory, or also known as Seattle. I've been there for about 20 years, and I think there's some... I realize I've been there longer than I have here on the island, and so being back here has been really blessed, like a real blessing to connect to the land and the space here too. And yeah, I've been away for a little bit, but I think I'm trying to build my canoe and sail back here because it's too cold in Seattle. It's nice now in the summer, but the winters are just not. Something about the sun really helps to enliven me. So I moved to Seattle for college. I went to the University of Washington, and I graduated in communication. And from there, I went into museum work. So I worked in museums for about 10 years. I did education, tours, youth programming, exhibits. And I felt really lucky because that museum was called the Wing Luke Museum of the Asian Pacific American Experience. It's a mouthful. But it's one of the only API museums in the country that talks about the American experience in a way. And so it was one of the first places that asked me what it was to be Chamorro, or if Chamorros had an exhibit, what would that look like? And that was like 20 years ago. And my whole career that was trying to encourage personal stories. I think personal stories are really powerful, and they really help give us a sense of who we are, where we come from, our genealogy, ancestry. And I think when you live in the States, you're told not to talk about your own story. You're always told to talk about someone else's story or fit into someone else's story. But this museum was about, no, what is your story about your grandmother, your grandfather? You know, what was your story? How did you get to this country? You know, how is it being in this country? You know, how do you maintain culture and identity in a space that tells you to assimilate or acculturate or to kind of get rid of all of that? So this museum was really beautiful because they were like, it's a cultural, art, and history museum. And so they try to weave everything together. And it was a place where I was like, wow, I can be cultural, and I can be an artist, and I can just learn about history, and I can just do all this through art and like exhibits and just talking and dialogue. And so a lot of my work today, I don't know, I was trying to explore my own personal story to this island, to my own family, to a lot of the ideas that I would read about, but always, I want to get my fingers to remember too. I do sculpture, I do installation art, community organizing, just a whole bunch of things too. I realized whenever I would just weave a lot. I think I would just take coconut leaves and just weave grasshoppers or stars. I think it's, when you're in the States, it's hard to find coconut leaves there. And so one of my friends would say that whenever you weave, you're doing the dance of your ancestors. And so it's a really great way to me to think about how did they move, how did they think about the world through their hands. And I would just weave, and whenever we would go on hikings, I would just leave little offerings, be like, thank you so much for being here. You know, instead of just asking permission, I leave a little gift, because for me, that's my own protocol for my own like stay here since I'm a visitor right now. And then I spoke to a friend, and she asked me, how does it feel when you leave a gift on the land? And she said, well, I said, well, it feels like it's not enough. I feel like the land wants more. Like this small little gift is, I want to give more, or the land wants more. And she's like, well, you're tapping into something that the world needs. I think as humans, we extract a lot. We take a lot from the earth and we don't give back. and you're just feeling what the earth wants, just gifts, in a way, tensuli, right? Reciprocity. How do we return back to the land, give back to the land as much as the land gives to us? And so after that, I was like, okay, what can I do that's more permanent than just leaving and weaving? And I was like, maybe just try weaving around things. So I would, I wove around a pole, and it was near Alupang. It felt really odd because I'm just there sitting by the beach just weaving. Cars are behind me. I think they're looking at me. Why is this person sitting there? But I wanted to give a gift that's a little more permanent, but also temporary, right? Because I'm just using akat, which I actually harvested myself. I went to SKC or Sakun Couture tomorrow, and I just cut a bunch of things and I processed it myself. And I was like, let me just weave around this. And it reminds me of like, have you heard of like quilt bombing, where people would crochet and they would just wrap it around trees? They do that a lot in the States. And so I was like, oh, how can I do that? But what's more indigenous? What's more chamorro? What's something that we would do here, but also blending ideas and concepts together? And so I was like, someone said it's like I'm tagging the island with weaving, which in a way it's kind of like that, but I'm also like, a lot of my work is about adorning. How do we adorn the body? How do we adorn place? How do we make it special? How do we honor this vessel and the places that we're in? And I think it reminds me of like fiestas. Because I think when fiestas happen, there's all this celebration, vibrancy. We wear certain clothes, we decorate the table, we put things up, and it becomes a special event. And I think for me, it's like, how do I adorn things around me? Just a wood that people would look on. I will around. I think I'm trying to weave around things that are forgotten. And I wanted to weave around metal or wood as a way to remember that we are on indigenous land, or that I'm on indigenous land, and it's there's a lot of metal here, and it makes me, I don't know, I just want to see more plants, more life. For me, this is my little gift, to be like just weaving around public things for little kids to be like, oh, is it? That's nice. Or you get to touch the land a little bit, you know, with that. And I think that's why I would weave around metal, because I think I want land to be around metal again, versus metal to be around land. Doing art sometimes is very lonely. You may be seen as people may judge you for doing things very individually. But if your heart says something and your intuition is telling you to do something, see it and explore it. And I think that's what I heard here. I just kept on hearing, just weave around stuff. I'm like, really? You want me to weave around stuff? Are you sure? And I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I'll try. And it's been nice. I remember when I was in Ritidian, the Lookout, there was a lot of tourists who would go there. And as I'm weaving there, I'm always wondering how tourists or visitors are receiving the island. You know, what stories are they getting? Do they see this land as sacred as we do? Or do they see it as just like a destination for like fun or honeymoons, right? And I want people to have a deeper connection to this area. Like myself, I want to have a deeper connection to this land. So I think spending time with land and having it in my hands and praying in a way, or just singing, or just like sweating. I was sweating a lot because it's so hot. But it's really beautiful. Whenever I would weave, it would rain afterwards. And I'd say that maybe that's a little blessing from the land. So just have good intentions. Think about your grandparents when you do it. I think that's what helps me. I want to make my grandma proud, or know that that I will remember her in this way. Remember her grandma and her grandma and her grandma too as well. I think that's for me. That's my own protocol in a way. And pray. I think art is a ceremony. Art is bringing spirit out in a way. It's a way for us to reveal something that you cannot see. It's a way for us to bless people and ideas and create a legacy that's beyond you.
Culture Club is brought to you by Tropicool Ice, the purest, cleanest ice in Guam.
Sports is up next, and later your birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Guam Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist. Over 20 years of experience.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together. KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade.
With me on the show, Will Stinnett, the tournament coordinator for the FSM basketball tournament going down here at the Guam Sports Complex Gym. Hats off to the FSM community for coming out and showing up real big.
Yes, I just really like to thank everybody that came out, fans, the participants especially. We were able to get 12 teams to participate in the double elimination games. Great opening ceremony. We played 3 times a week. Now we're down to our final 4 teams left. So 3 more games. Congratulations to the teams that's made it so far. Natives playing NBI. The winner advances to Micro Friends. That's in the championship for the losers bracket. And congratulations to 4 Stars. They're waiting for the championship game, which the games will continue next week.
The games and the teams that were involved with this tournament, it was free for them to join.
Yeah, I mean, special thanks to the sponsors, the Gov and the LT for sponsoring. Just great to get, the game of basketball brings everybody together. It was just not the FSM teams, FAS teams, but also each team are allowed to get 2 local, anybody that from Guam, so 2 players on each team. And, they made, you saw some of Guam's best basketball players come out and, for them to mingle and intertwine and communicate and, be friends on the court, it's a good thing to see.
Being a part of youth basketball on Island, also being a captain of the men's national basketball team, you've seen how basketball brings the community together.
Just to bring everybody together, and through sports gives kids another outlet, kind of gives them another, something to focus on and some goals that they could try to achieve, maybe practice more so we can make it, for the teams that could do better for the next tournament, which is something that I'm already planning, kind of make this happen more often than not. We're out of the COVID, so just good. And, everybody's motivated. They're the ones that have been eliminated want to come back and play again. So, bring the community together and just give them another avenue, another escape from doing other things that's, not necessarily good for them.
There is a wider range of age level players here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this one good thing about this tournament is you got all age groups. So you had your younger kids growing up, the kids that are still middle school, high school, playing against guys that just graduated, some of the top, Island's best high school players, also playing against older guys that have been running, with the FSM leagues for the past 15, 20 years. So, I mean, just to see that age group and get kind of that networking from the young age, the younger basketball players and then the older basketball players, it's good to see that. I mean, if you've never been to an FSM, like an event, whether it be basketball, track and field, volleyball, the fans come out and it's supportive and it's fun to be part of it. We play music during the game and just to see everybody have fun and bring the community together. It's been a great turnout. I mean, it's good to see some of the FSM leaders come out and help out with this event. It's the first kind of major event since COVID. Just to see different leaders in different parts of the community, whether it be in government side or public health side, it's good to have everybody come out.
The GPSI Southern Cobras were officially crowned champions of the amateur division of the Bud Light Women's Soccer League during an awards presentation held at the Guam Football Association National Training Center. The Cobras, 4-1, finished with the best record in the amateur division and also scored the most goals, 15 in 5 matches during league play. Also recognized from the Cobras team was Cindy Mastrocampo, presented with the amateur division's 2022 Golden Boot Trophy for scoring the most goals during the season. Mastrocampo netted 7 of the Cobras' 15 total goals in 5 matches played.
KUAM Sports Weekend Roundup is brought to you by Gatorade. KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
The rising cost of living is affecting all of us on Guam. Our administration has expanded a program. We want to pay for your child's daycare up to $675 a month per child. This means more money in your pocket to pay for other expenses like the cost of gas and groceries. The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is investing in Guam's future, and that starts by supporting our working families. We are all in this together, Guam.
This ad is paid for by government funds at the Office of the Governor and the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
I have a phone. I have no TV. Ooh, TV on phone.
Get live TV on your phone or any device with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch live channels or stream from your favorite apps on any device, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings. All for only $35 a month with your link bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi.
Ooh, TV on phone.
Welcome back. We wrap up your show with your birthday shout-outs. Here's Jason Solis.
It's your Labor Day birthday weekend shout-outs, everybody. And on Sunday, Ava Lou Quintanilla celebrates birthday number 8. You are a little head fort apple to our eyes. Aw, that's what your shout-out says. And we love you so very much. Say Mama and Papa, Nino Ryan, Mommy, Daddy, Landon, Susie, Maddox and Jax, and your Nina and Nino, along with Auntie Shashi, Uncle Jason, and all your loving cousins. Happy 8th birthday, Ava. Dora Santos, have a blessed happy birthday to my darling daughter. Please keep up the good work and have a cheerful, lovely day. Your mom says, we love you. Aw, nice job, Mom. And Ryan Tiguina, happy birthday to KUM owns Ryan, the man with the plan. Ryan, you are getting it done, and we are very, very proud to be a member of your extended family here at KUM. Have a fantastic Sunday, fantastic birthday, and we'll see you at work, everybody. And to all 4 of you who had a birthday today, happiest of birthday wishes from us at KUM.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ryan. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating. You can be a part of our Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Just check it out on KUAM